Hello everybody. It is Wednesday, the 5th of February. I have not made a video in a while. I'll tell you why in a minute. Partly because I was sick as a dog. You can probably still hear it. I had a dreadful cold. I've actually been off work for a few days now. I'm going back tonight. So, but there's another reason, and I want to come to that, because for me, making these videos is actually totally counterproductive. I've reached that conclusion. Sorry, but I think I need to be a bit more selfish. Anyway, I want to talk about following Jesus and what it is he actually taught, and actually tying that together with knowledge we have now, understanding that we have now. And for me at the moment, I've been reading Joe Dispenza, so it is the understanding and the knowledge of a Joe Dispenza, which you can tie straight back into that. Now, following Jesus, again, let me say there are two different ways. There's two different things he did in that teaching. Yeah? One is the miracles, what he did in this world, changing reality in this world. And the other thing was the denial of self, the way of the cross, and going to a kingdom which is not yet part of this world, but hell, it is coming. Hell is coming. Again, I don't know why he did that. I've come up with about 3 different scenarios at the moment, which would explain what happened there. One would be ignorance, full-on ignorance. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was doing. The second scenario is that he did it deliberately. That was the intended outcome from the beginning. Yeah, that we shall go to this point where we're all being ruled over by some other entity. And, well, the third is that it has something to do with free will. You know, in order to exercise free will, you need to have a choice. You need to be shown 2 different scenarios, 2 different ways, so that you have free will to choose. Again, if that was the intention, then to give us a choice, then Paul did away with that one as well. I'll show you that in the end. But again, I don't know. Those are 3 possibilities why the New Testament is what it is. I don't know what his reasoning was. Anyway, so the first Jesus, the living Jesus, the one that was a living God himself, and would have taught others how to be that, a living God. I am in life. So those that want to follow that compassionate Jesus need to be saved by the Spirit, not a man. Follow no man, be saved by the Spirit. Be saved by the knowledge that he brought you. That is the Christ. The Christ that was within him, the knowledge that was within him, not the man himself. And the Christ can be in everybody. The knowledge can be in everybody. It's hard work getting it there. I've been trying. I will continue trying. And the knowledge is just that. If you are a follower of that compassionate Jesus, then the central point of your belief must be Mark 11:24. That's it. Therefore, I tell you, whatsoever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. That is the point you need to hit, the mark. And if you're outside of that mark, you are in sin. You are in darkness. You are in not knowing. That is what we need to know. Yeah? Forget about the kingdom, forget about everything else. That was the other way. The other choice. I'll talk about that in the end. So that is the point we have to hit. know that you have received it and it will be yours. That means feel the feeling as if it has already happened. Now, I've been thinking in the last few days, and it has come to me that has happened to me so many times. It happened to me once I had received it in the material, and all of a sudden it was everywhere. Yeah? So if I'm looking for a household item or something like that for weeks, can't find the blinking thing anywhere, in any shop, it's not there. Until I suddenly find it somewhere and I grab it and I buy it, and then I know that I have received it because it is materialistically mine. I have it in my hand. And the next thing you know, it's everywhere. Everywhere you go, and all the shops suddenly have it in. Yeah? So what Jesus is actually asking of you is to know it before that material moment has arrived. Again, that is hitting the mark. Now, if I bring this to Joe Dispenza, that moment of prayer is actually a brainwave state. It's a state of consciousness. And that is you being in alpha going into theta. You're being half asleep, being in dreamland, so to speak. But that as your reality. Yeah? And again, you are in that state inside of yourself. That becomes your reality. It creates your reality. So, now here's the thing I don't like, what so many are preaching at the moment. And that is, in order to get to that state, that you have to do away with your personas, with your entanglements with this world, which is true. But so many are preaching that is a state you should be in all the time. Yeah? That is the true self, that is the true knowledge, that is where you should be, that should be your being. And to me that is wrong. Because whilst you are in the world, in the entanglement of the world, and again that is also real because that is your energy. That is your energy body being entangled with the energies of this world, and that is real. The feelings you have about other people, animals, even objects in your house, how you feel about them, and that is good or bad. Yeah, either feeling would tie you to what it is you're feeling about. It is a connection. Hate is a connection as much as love. But it is out of that experience of life that you actually know what to ask for. Because if that was not there, what would be the point? What would you ask for? If we have the creator, the uncreated that gives to the created, and the created is standing there and saying, well, I'm nothing, I need nothing, then what is the point in the whole of creation? There wouldn't be one. So the fact that you are what David Icke calls a point of attention, yeah, that knows and that has needs. Without that, there would be no point in creation at all. What would all those that knowledge in the field be good for if it's not needed? So yeah, you need to be in that state of entanglement with others, with things around you, to know what to ask for. The thing is that in that state, you cannot ask. You need to shift out of that in order to ask. And here's again people going around saying, do away with fear, do away with anger, do away with sadness, all those low-level emotions. No, they are your messengers. They're telling you what to ask for. Yeah? Fear tells you about danger, sadness about loss, anger about injustice. and they tell you what to ask for. Again, the compassionate Jesus was connected in life to the suffering of others, because that is what compassion is. It is the knowledge of the suffering of others, and for that you need to be here. And you need to be connected to that. But out of that came then the knowledge of what to ask for, healing. The desire for healing, not for himself, but for others. But if you did not feel compassionate, you wouldn't care. Why would you ask? Nothing to you. You've detached from all of this. None of this is anything to you anymore. It's not real. And it will become more and more unreal, because you're not getting the energetic information. So you're not in life. So yes, no, we need to be in life in order to know what to ask for. But then the shift has to occur. Now, the interesting thing that I found with Joe Dispenza is that those different states are different brainwave states, which create different states of consciousness. Yeah? And whilst you are in this world, you are in beta. The analytic mind, the mind that knows, the mind that receives all the information from the environment, which it must in order to know what to ask for. But you are in beta, and you cannot pray from that state. And here is again, you are in the corruptible, you are in the material. Even energetic is, it's something that exists. It's not solid, but it exists. So you're not out of the created. Sorry, I just lost thread. So when you're in that state, you're in beta. And here's what the corruptible cannot create incorruptibility. Yeah? Or the mind, let's say like this, the thought or the mindset you're in that is creating this cannot bring the solution. You need to shift into the state of quietness. Yeah, that's it. It's in the quiet, where you have detached from what's going on in the world. You ask from that state. That is the state of prayer. And again, then the teaching of Jesus is actually extremely helpful to get you to that state. When he says, as a matter of fact, you will receive. So you can stop fretting. If that becomes your truth, you know you will receive. All you have to do is go into prayer and ask, and you will receive. And you know that. If that is your true belief, then you can stop fretting. So, that thought that Creator gives is actually extremely helpful in getting you into that state. That whole teaching would get you into that state, if you were to believe on it. If you were to believe on the Christ, on the knowledge that would save you, that will bring the solution. So, but as I said, as long as we are in the analytic mind, we are on the wrong wavelength that we need to shift from. Shifting from it completely would mean there's nothing to ask for, which would make the whole thing pointless. So it needs to be a back and forth. Yeah? Being in the world, to create in the world, to be in the connections of the world, and prayer in order to ask for help, to bring a solution. that should then again serve in this world. Because that's what Jesus did. Yeah. If this whole world was, completely pointless and not real and there's nothing to it, then what on earth was he doing? And the body is so sinful and, you really need to get out of it, then what was he doing going around healing them? Bodies, that is. Yeah, if the truth was we all need to get out, then what he did was completely wrong. He shouldn't have healed them. He should have let them die. Anyway, so, and this was the teaching, the knowledge that he brought, and that they practiced. Again, here comes, there's a works that you need to do to shift yourself, to learn how to shift yourself from one state into another. And that is the works you need to do. Because at the moment we are habitually in the beta state, and we're trying to find solutions in this state. And we need to get out of the habit of doing that, but learning how to shift into prayer mode, which is a different brainwave. In order to find or create solutions in a different way. At the moment we're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and we're expecting a different outcome, which will not happen. In fact, that is insanity. So doing things differently means going into a different state of being and doing it from there. Now, as I said, that is the knowledge that will save you. That is the Jesus you should follow. That is the teaching you should follow. That is what you should believe on. Make it your reality. Again, the works has to be done inside of yourself. You have to catch yourself on. And, get out of that state. And here is, get ye behind me, Satan. Yeah, it's not throw Satan out of the heavens altogether. Don't. Just tell him to step aside. So you can go into prayer mode. Because the angels show you what is happening in this world. They are the messengers that show you what's happening in this world. But at some point they need to step aside. So that is the Jesus you should follow. Now here, there's the other one. Again, Jesus himself went the other way. And as I said at the beginning of the video, there's about 3 different scenarios why he may have done that. But the outcome is there. It's clearly there in the book of the Revelation. Death, destruction, and Borg-Cube coming down to rule over all of us. That's the outcome of that way. Again, Paul is teaching that way as the only truth. And in teaching that, you can do nothing. You should not even ask for yourself. You should not go by your own knowing. Again, that is the angels bringing you the knowledge of what's going on around you. You should not go by that knowing. Forget it. Deny yourself. Deny all the input that yourself is receiving. Deny it. And just wait for Jesus to come and save you. Which, whilst you are waiting, which Christians have been waiting for 2,000 years now, and everybody, and long before that, people were waiting for a Messiah, whilst they are waiting, they are in a state of helplessness. Yeah? They are in a state where they can see what's happening around them and there is no way out. And they cannot be still. I mean, folks, it doesn't work. You cannot go to war with yourself and beat all those negative feelings down. It does not work. You're making things worse. So, again, through that teaching, through the waiting of a Messiah, the Messiah can actually not come. because you are in the wrong state of mind for something to happen. You are at war. You are in movement. You're in war with everything else around you. You're in war with yourself. And at that point, in that state, nothing can happen. Yeah, and you might shout out the most emotional prayers of I want, I need, something come, whatever. You're on the wrong wavelength. Nothing can happen in that state. But Paul is saying that is the state you need to be in. For what? So that something has to come and save you, because you can't do it yourself. Something has to come then and save you, and then will rule over you, because that is the plan. And again, let me make very clear, Jesus brought the knowledge, his knowledge, the first knowledge, the power of prayer. He brought that knowledge to the Jews, to save the Jews. Paul taught the other way to the Gentiles. And I think there's something very deliberate in that. And very earthly, so to speak. So yeah. And now, as I said, I hadn't made videos in a while, because for me, doing this is totally counterproductive. Because as long as I'm talking about it, as long as I'm thinking about it, as long as I'm analyzing it, I'm in beta. I'm on the wrong wavelength. And I'm not doing the works within myself that I should be doing. And that is to calm the hell down and believe. So, and it is actually true for, let me say that there's again a line in the book in the Emerald Tablet, which says, those who speak do not know, and those who know do not speak. Because there's a state of knowing and there's a state of speaking, and they are two different wavelengths. So as I said, I need to get a lot more selfish to do that works within myself, because this, what I'm doing right now, is not profiting me at all. Yeah? And yes, I am looking for something for myself. I am looking for something for my family. I am looking to improve the situation of life. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to get out of here, because I don't think that is what that knowledge was given for, to get out of here, but to serve us whilst we are here. So yeah, back to doing some works myself. And everybody must do that works for themselves, within themselves. Waiting for a Messiah, waiting for something to come and do it for you, is the way into destruction, and it is the way of to get you to a place where you are ruled over, and where you have no more free will and self-determination. Said Paul taught that to the Gentiles. Make of that what you will. So to believe the Creator gives, and that alone, if you could make that a reality inside of yourself, again, know the feeling of the gift received before it is physically yours. Believe above the material, before the material. And that's the works everybody has to do for themselves. I think, again, what Jesus taught and what they did at the time was, strengthen yourself. Strengthen yourself, strengthen each other. So in a group, I think that can be helpful, because struggling on your own can be hard. But to give each other the strength is probably extremely helpful. But what belief is it you're strengthening each other in? That's the question. Right now, everybody is, as I say, Christians will strengthen you in the belief that you are nothing, that you are sinful nothing, that Jesus will have to come and save you. You're strengthened in that belief. And that is the wrong way. You should be strengthened in the other belief. And as soon as you talk about, even now, if you talk about that, you know about manifestation, about the power of self, of the I am, of yourself. Oh, you're selfish, you're ungodly, you're possessed by demons, I don't know what. That way is vilified. And it is the true way, it is the truth. It is the light, knowing that the Creator gives to you without judgment. And again, there is a physical aspect to that, where you need to know how to shift from one state of consciousness into another, where you have to learn to do that. It's something we have to learn. Something I'm trying to learn now. But as I said, as long as I'm speaking, I'm not doing. So I'm sure I will make other videos, but I don't think they will be as frequent as they used to be. Anyway, here I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.